Okie dokie, I believe we are all the way live. Hello and welcome to my graveyard. I'm your host of the evening, the Cemetery Man from Salem, Mass. Always taking names and kicking candy ass. Live in the cover here with you on Grande's Graveyard. Welcome back to another edition of the show. Very, very excited tonight. We are doing a live fan commentary for one of my all-time favorite 80s hidden gem horror movies. It is Anthony Hickox's Waxwork. Yes, I love this movie. I'm super freaking excited to do a live fan commentary for it because it's long overdue. I initially planned to do this in October, but I have another fan commentary with a certain Bloodbound Productions that we have planned for October. So I promised him October. So that's why Waxwork gets fast forwarded to September. So tonight, Waxwork live fan commentary. I'm super, super excited for that. Of course, we've got Aiden Vaber in the house. Aiden, how are you, man? It's been a while since I've seen your name. What's going on, buddy? Hello, I just wanted to say your last couple videos were great, and I am glad to be a part of the chat again. Hey, man, glad to have you be a part of the chat. I'm super happy to have you here. What did I think of James Wan's Malignant? Now, this is funny. I don't believe you have Instagram. I did review the film briefly on Instagram, and I was going to review it on here, give it its own movie individual review. Everybody and their mother, though, have been reviewing Malignant, so I was like, let me not do it right now. I figured I didn't want to jump on the hype train. But to answer your question, I fucking loved it. I absolutely loved Malignant. I thought the world of it. I thought it was a fantastic return to form for James Wan, who had, dived into action world, whether it be Aquaman, whether it be, the Fast and Furious sequel that he did. It was so cool to see him come back, and from the genre that missed him the most. I mean, he is horror, through and through. And I just thought what a great concept it was to have this killer that it walks backwards, it communicates through the radio and the frequencies. It almost reminded me a lot of Shocker. And I know a lot of people are saying so far it reminded them of Basket Case. But I definitely got a lot of Shocker in there, whether it be the dream sequences where the person could see somebody else dying, but they're trying to interfere, but they can't. Very similar to Shocker. Of course, the score, the lightheartedness, the absolute batshit insane third and final act. I adored everything about Malignant. I just thought it was a great movie. I went with a group of people, Aiden, a big ass group of people, and they all did not like it except me. So I was thrilled with it, to be honest. I think it's a movie everyone should go support in theaters. I know it's gotten bad box office results, which is a crying shame considering Candyman did really well, and I had no interest in seeing that. And, Malignant, a new original horror movie from a horror master in James Wan, nobody really saw it. So it's kind of a shame. I know a lot of people who did see it saw it on HBO Max, and that's all cool. I definitely think he did a great job, though. Like, it's personally my favorite horror movie of the year. And I went to the theater expecting another Conjuring, another Insidious. And then when the final act happened, I was like, wait a minute. Like, why do I have to come in and expect what we've already seen? And that's what I thought was so brilliant about this movie, is that he completely went against everything he's known for and had a fun, absurd, batshit final act with crazy police station massacre that I was like going crazy in the theater. But I could tell, Aiden, as soon as it switched like that, that whole theater that expected one movie and got the other turned on it. And I think that's why it's been such a divisive film. You either love it or you hate it. But I think James Wan is the man. I really do. I really like James Wan. I thought Malignant was a great film, and I will review it someday. As a matter of fact, I might even do a James Wan retrospective one of these days, because I did do a Conjuring episode, and I love doing that. But I thought the world of Malignant, Aiden. I gave it a 9 out of 10 personally. I really liked the film. James Moss is in the house. I'm here to talk Waxwork. Bro, I'm here to talk Waxwork. Hell yeah. I got this Vestron video double feature blue here. Oh yeah, we gotta love it. Huge fan of this movie. We're going to get into all the ins and outs of Waxwork. I'm really excited. The Soulless Trenchcoat's in the house. Hey, what's up? What's up, man? So got to see Malignant. Love James Wan. Yeah, no, James Wan is so talented. I absolutely love Malignant. I highly recommend people go out to a theater and check it out. I know people are still scared of COVID. I recommend wear your mask if you're nervous or whatever. Definitely check it out in the theater. I thought it was a really, really good movie. After rewatching *Malignant*, I think James Wan might be my favorite filmmaker working today. I have always been a big fan of him. I adore *Insidious*, *Death Sentence*, but *Malignant* was phenomenal. Yeah, you know, the thing is, it's almost like he took the action stuff that he learned and applied it to the last act, and all of these great creepy sequence and the uses of color in the first acts and in the dream sequences and the camera angles. That's the classic James Wan you get. I think where people just didn't appreciate it was it's not trying to be scary like a Conjuring, like an Insidious. That's where I think it got people. People were expecting that. And as soon as it turns to the twist, I mean, I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it, but once it twists, I think people just, it rubbed them the wrong way. Really do. Because I was in that theater, man, and I could hear the groan. It was like a collective, like, you know, and I was like, fuck, like, I like this. Like, I don't know. It definitely was divisive. Zack Galligan is excellent as Mark. Yeah, you know, cool story, James. My parents, back in, I believe, circa 1986, met Zack Galligan at Studio 54, you know, in New York City. And that's, I think it's the coolest thing. They met Grace Jones the same night. And they also have a picture with Pierce Brosnan before he was James Bond. So this is 1986. That's great. Really long time ago. But yeah, no, they met Zack Galligan, have a picture with him to this day too. They were like, hey, you're the guy from Gremlins, you know, and I actually always grew up knowing him as being the guy from Waxwork. I saw Waxwork first. Tyrese Daniels is in the house. That's a new name. Tyrese, welcome to the graveyard, my friend. Hope all is well. House of Wax 2005 movie. Now, that is the remake of the Vincent Price film. Believe it or not, Tyrese, that just got a special edition Blu-ray from Scream Factory. At least, I don't know if it's out yet, but I know the pre-order's up. You can get the pre-order of that if you're a big fan of that movie. That seems to be a remake that people fucking love. I'll be honest, I saw it once, and I don't remember much from it other than Paris Hilton. But I would be willing to give it another shot. I don't remember film. I do know that the director went on to do I believe Orphan was the director. I think the director went on to do something pretty significant. I don't know if it was Orphan or one of those Liam Neeson movies, Unknown. I fucking forget, but I'm pretty sure that director went on to have a decent enough career. James Wan is highly underrated. Completely agree. I got to see Waxwork. Heard good things. Well, hey, man, if you've got Tubi, you can put it on and you can watch it right here with me tonight, baby. Live fan commentary. That's what these are for. *Malignant* was great if you are wrong. Mark, good brother Mark's in the house. Mark hated it. Mark did not like the film. We were talking about it last night. But I don't know, man. I really did enjoy it. I know it seems to be one of those, it really rubbed people the wrong way. I don't know. I thought it was just such a good movie. I don't know. I really enjoyed. Deborah Foreman is excellent as Sarah. Yes, I really want to. Deborah Foreman is like one of my favorite actresses of all time. If you couldn't tell by this little poster, I have it signed by Amy Steele. I would kill to get it signed by Deborah Foreman. I would love to see more interviews and stuff with Deborah Foreman. She's like one of those actresses I would love to hear like a 2-hour career shoot interview for. She's one of those people I could probably reach out and try to see if we can get her on here one night. That would be really, really cool to talk with her because she's awesome, man. Hey, MMCMA. That's cool. You got to see. Oh, it was my parents. It was my parents that got to meet him. Coolly enough. David Warner is the king of bad guys in movies and TV shows. Yes, I love him. And apparently he shot his stuff in this movie. I'm not kidding you. In 2 days. They had David Warner for 2 days. Halloween had Donald Pleasance for 3 days. Waxwork, Anthony Hickox. Hold my beer. We have David Warner for 2. Very crazy stuff. Hell yeah, I'll look it up and watch it with you. Sounds like a fun flick for sure. Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Everybody, I believe this is free to watch on Tubi, if I'm not mistaken. If you have the DVD, I know there's a DVD 2-pack. I know there's a solo DVD, and there's this Vestron Blu-ray double pack with Waxwork 1, and then, of course, Waxwork 2, Lost in Time, which I actually can have some fun with that sequel. I really enjoy the final act. But tonight we are watching Waxwork. I guess we're about 10 minutes in. We can get started. First and foremost, though, everybody, cheers to a beautiful, healthy, safe, happy weekend. I got Wild Cherry Pepsi. Yes, that's what we are drinking tonight. Wild Cherry Pepsi. So let me know what you all are drinking down below in the comments as we start Waxwork. Oh, man. Cheers to everybody. Only the best on the graveyard. But, all right, we're going to get started without further ado. Let me grab the remote. Okay, I am hitting play in 3, 2, 1, play. I've been wanting to do this one for a while. This is definitely like a dream fan commentary. I was initially thinking Madman because that's a great fall slasher, but I don't know. I feel like This would be a really fun one to do as well. Turn it up a little bit. Yes. This one has a really, really fun score as well. I like the music used, whether it be this opening song, this old school opening song, and then of course, at the end, it's my party and okay if I want to. The best, man. Absolutely the best. I'm drinking some Baja Blast. Dude, hey, man, cheers to you. Cheers to the Baja, for sure. Crazy ass opening here. R.I.P. Patrick McNee. He was an excellent Sir Will. Yeah, no, I love him, man. He was really underrated. I absolutely love that actor. I don't know, James, if you've seen, there's a making of this movie. It's like a 25-minute making of. And he's like the narrator of it, and he does such a fun job. I just love him. He had a blast making this movie. He's really, really cool guy. Yingling and more. I don't know. What are you talking? Why are you trying to say, Mark? Mark's always confusing me. By the way, this looks fantastic on Blu-ray. If anybody has not picked up this Vestron 2-pack, this looks very, very nice. And they did, I appreciate this, they did separate discs. They didn't just do, they did 1 disc, 2 disc. I appreciate that. And if you're a big fan of Waxwork 2 Lost in Time, you can have the reversible slip. So you can just have that, or I have it as the original Waxwork. So pretty cool stuff. I don't know. I definitely recommend this set for any Waxwork fan. The second movie kind of rubs people the wrong way too. It's another one of those movies that pretty divisive, but I don't know. I enjoy the second movie for what it is. I've seen a lot worse, put it to you that way. But yeah, no, this it's funny how this movie kind of came to be. Basically, Anthony Hickox was an up and comer, and he was only acting as extras and stuff. And one day he was driving in Hollywood, and he actually got into a car accident. Now, when he got into this car accident, he hit the person who ended up producing this film. And he said, hey, man, I'm looking for a producer to make a film. And the guy was like, hey, get me a script ASAP and we'll talk. And basically, Anthony Hickox wrote the script out in 3 days, brought it to him and said, let's make this movie. And they got a budget of about $3 million to put this movie together. And to me, the brilliance of Waxwork and the reason why this movie really works is the creativity. And $3 million is not a huge budget. Well, I mean, let's be honest. But the fact that, you made something so creative and innovative. And let's have a Waxwork movie, a movie that takes place in a wax museum where all the creatures that we've known and loved in the past, whether it be Frankenstein's monster or the werewolf or a witch or, all the great things that come to life in this movie, let's, have those things be in the movie and have redesigns for them. And that's why Bob Keane, who did the special makeup effects on this, he really was the biggest key to the film. I mean, he had to reanimate all that stuff and make it look well. And he does a great job with the great animatronics and special makeup effects. Of course, Bob Keane had also worked on films like Hellraiser with, of course, Clive Barker and then Nightbreed after this. And he actually would go on to work with Anthony Hickox again with Waxwork 2 and, of course, Hellraiser 3. So pretty cool. He's a frequent Clive Barker and Anthony Hickox collaborator. And, his special makeup effects are really the key to this movie, I think, and why this movie still stands the test of time today. Because on the budget that it had, it's incredible that it is as good as it is, And I'll be honest, this Blu-ray looks phenomenal. It sparkles off the screen. We have, of course, Deborah Foreman and Michelle Johnson walking up the block. Here's one for the chat. Who's hotter, Michelle Johnson or Deborah Foreman? Because I have a soft spot for both. I should check it out. Yeah, totally. Might pick up that Blu-ray sometime. Totally. You're Not Alone, Grande. That sequel was enjoyable. Yeah, I like the sequel too. That guy got killed and his body got put in the fireplace. Yeah, no, that's the opening scene. Really, really good stuff. I still like Waxwork. Yeah, so do I, man. Fun finale. Very fun finale. And that's the finale that he initially wanted to do for this. He wanted to do Waxworks 2's finale in this movie. And, what ended up happening was, they waited till the last day of shooting to film the ending. And Anthony Hickox's father told him, don't fucking wait till the last day. Get the ending out of the way in the middle of the filmmaking. And of course, he waited till the last day, and they had to film the entire third act of this movie in one day, the last day of filming. And that goes to show you how guerrilla filmmaking this was. But it's such a great movie. Here we see the Waxwork for the first time and Mr. David Warner in his Willy Wonka attire. See, now it's a fun fact. The actual filming location, the people that own it now make sure that the hedges are as tall as they can be, so people don't take photo ops with the building. I mean, it's just so bullshit. It's the same thing with the people that live in the Amityville horror house now. It's just like, oh, let's redesign the house and all this bullshit. It's so stupid, man. I hate it. It's such a shame Anthony Hickox didn't go on to do much, but I love Waxwork films and Hellraiser 3. Yeah, no, he's great, man. He was such a good talent. In a lot of ways, I think Hellraiser 3 hurt his career. Even though I like the film, I think a lot of fans didn't like it, and I think that really hurt because that was his real big shot. And I think he hit out of the park, but it is what it is. You are hotter. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Deborah is cooler. Yeah, no, I love Deborah, man. Michelle Johnson's also beautiful, man. She's playing like that bitchy high school girl that is playing hard to get in this movie. Not used to swing Zack as a rich kid. This is interesting. Yeah, I know. Very, very cool to see Zack Galligan playing a sort of suave character with the hair slicked back and dressed in fancy clothes. I always could really relate to his character too, because like I was always the person in high school that would go for probably people that were lesser of me, like a lot of the girls I was attracted to were always like popular and thought their shit didn't stink kind of girls. That's why I always could really relate to Zack Galligan's character in this, because he's head over heels in love with Michelle Johnson, but he doesn't realize that the beautiful, poor, timid Deborah Foreman is right in front of him the whole time. There's nothing like a teacher teaching class with a giant Nazi flag in the middle of the room. Dude, you would not be able to get away with that shit today, man. Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth is still bloody good. I love it. I really love it. In fact, I could show this really quick. I got this VHS of it. I'm a pretty big fan of this movie. Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth. Yes, I love this movie. Huge fan of this movie. I'm a diehard fan. I love Anthony Hickox. I also really enjoy the Warlock sequel that he made, of course, started by the great Steve Miner, which is cool. I got to go with Michelle. Yeah, okay, if someone said One Night Stand, Michelle. If somebody said marry, wife material, Deborah Foreman. Like, if it was like a fuck one, kill one, marry one, I know who I'd fuck and I know who I'd marry. So, I don't know. It's weird, but it is what it is. Yeah, what the fuck with this Nazi flag, man? I love this too. The bleacher shot here. This is when I think 80s. It's stuff like this. Like this is something John Hughes easily could have directed. Like a dark John Hughes film almost. No, this fucking thing sparkles on Blu-ray, man. This is actually a sick transfer. Of course, you have Dana Ashbrook here, who also went on to be in Return of the Living Dead Part 2. And I believe, was Dana Ashbrook on Twin Peaks? I think Dana Ashbrook was on. I think so. I don't think he had the biggest part in the world, but I believe he was on Twin Peaks as well. He's kind of the jokester character in this. Oh my God, this guy's like, oh, hey, baby, we can catch a movie with that back row boogie. Oh my God, man, that's cringeworthy. That's a guy on the football team that nobody would fucking be with. It's funny, man. You would think like football players would get mad pussy, at least in high school. My football team, they were so shitty that nobody got pussy. Like, no, they were the shittiest football team ever. Like everyone would come to homecoming and that would be it. And then it would be like, all right, yeah, they suck. Like everyone would forget about it for about a half hour and then they'd remember. I was looking at on where Anthony's career went, and sadly he directed a Seagal film, but at least he admitted the film was shit. Yeah, no, I believe he also, if I'm not wrong, Aiden, didn't he direct like Jill the Ripper with Dolph Lundgren? He did a few real stinkers in the early 2000s. It's such a shame because the guy had such talent and creativity. And that's really what I yearn for when I watch a good horror movie, because like this is not a movie that had a big budget at all, but the creativity just shines, man. It really does shine. And I love these characters. I think these characters are fun. Yes, they're the stereotypical. You got rich kid, you've got bitch girl, you've got the final girl character type in Deborah Foreman, the jokester, and then the other couple is sort of throwaway to me. You'll see there's a point where they're going to get into the waxwork and they just kind of leave. And they actually filmed this whole thing where they were watching Dawn of the Dead together. And, there was a zombie arm supposed to attack them and it was just them being pranked. I would love to see that deleted scene. I don't know if it's anywhere to be found, but I still think that's really, really cool. Jesus, Michelle Johnson is so fucking hot in this. Believe it, fun fact, I was actually supposed to meet her she was doing, I think, New Jersey HorrorCon, and right before coronavirus hit, like April, and I think March is when I got laid off because of COVID and shit. So, that would have been really cool to meet her, because I would have told her all about this movie. This is what I should get the one sheet for. I actually really like this artwork right here. And it's funny, when I first saw this movie, I thought all of this stuff was going to be in the movie. None of it is, other than the greeter. The rest of the stuff is not in the movie, which I always thought was just kind of funny. Yep, he sadly did Jill the Ripper. Yeah, Jill the Ripper. I'm a big Dolph Lundgren mark, but I will even tell you that is a piece of shit movie. That's a really bad one. They are archetypes. Can't spell that for a reason. Don't mess with good. I don't. There's something about this movie that it has a great charm to it, and the characters are very real and likable. Like, you feel like you knew. I knew about 10 people that were like Michelle Johnson. Maybe not as hot as Michelle Johnson, but I went for a girl like Michelle Johnson, and all of these characters we have encountered in parts of our lives, and that's really what makes it relatable. Like, I would probably be the Dana Ashbrook character, like the one joking and stuff, trying to have a good time. But then again, pardon me, Zack Galligan, head over heels for Michelle Johnson's character. I just love her. I think she's beautiful. Now, another fun fact, we see this Waxwork building here. That was actually the same, I think the same house used in, Night of the Creeps. I believe so. It might have been this or the house at the beginning. I'm not positive. But I know the same house was used in Night of the Creeps, which I always thought was really cool. It's another movie I absolutely love. Very similar vein to this. I find this a little bit better, though. Dude, that artwork is phenomenal. Luckily, there is some great posters being made today. Just look at the Malignant poster. I want that one sheet so bad. In fact, I'm going to call the movie theater and be like, yo, I'll buy one. I'll pay you stupid money. David Warner is the voice of Ra's al Ghul on Batman the Animated Series. I didn't know that. That's really cool. It's funny. He tells the story where he was acting in a miniseries in England, and Anthony Hickox was an extra in the scene. And, it wasn't until this film he approached him and said, hey, do you remember me? David Warner was like, I don't know who the hell you are. He's like, oh, I was an extra in this, and I'm directing this film. Would you want to do it? And he was like, I don't know. I've done a lot of horror. I'm kind of getting away from it. And he gave him the script, and he said, you know what? How cool would it be to be directed by an extra that you worked with in a miniseries? How many people get to say that? And that's how they got David Warner to do it. I think that was really cool. David Warner seemed like a really good sport. When cliches are done good, they can be awesome. They can get overused for a reason. Yeah, no, I think, stuff like this now gets parodied today. Like it's represented, and it's like, oh, we know it's goofy. We know we're smarter. I hate that. Like, we know, we get it. Like, you don't have to tell us that too. Like, there's a lot of movies that try to do that. Like, I like The Babysitter, for instance. So that's another one of those movies that it's trying so hard to tell you that it knows it's goofy. Just have your own identity. That's my recommendation. Welcome to the Waxwork. Yes, I love this guy. I don't know this actor's name, the little person. I'm gonna look it up here. Let's see. I don't know his name, but he's fantastic. And I always remembered him being on the poster, being like, "Oh man, what a creepy little guy." We were expecting more. Oh my god, man, this guy's so fucking scary looking. What the heck is his name? Waxwork Man, David Warner. What is his name? I don't know. I can't find it. If anybody can find his name for me, please do. I can't find his name. He almost reminds me of the guy from Fantasy Island in a little way. And then you have this giant guy who's like almost like Lurch. I like that. They did like kind of Freak the Mighty thing. Let's see. Tony is the first to go. Yep. Warwick Davis. No, it's not Warwick Davis. I'm not sure. I don't know the actor's name, but he's great in this. Have you seen Final Girls? It's kind of a self-aware as well. Yes, I have. I don't mind. I like that film too. I even think you can be self-aware and goofy. I don't mind it. Like, it's not a break. But there's some movies that like, oh no, I'll give you a perfect example. There's a commercial on, I think it's a Geico commercial. And it's basically like these kids, and they're like, oh, why don't we just get in the moving car and why don't we hide behind the chainsaws? And that I get it, I get the humor, but I don't like it, man. I just don't find it that funny. Oh, I love that there is a dwarf in this movie. Yeah, no, I don't. I'm trying to find out the dwarf's name. I don't know his damn name, but he does a really, really good job, and I like his like high voice. And now the doors have opened to the waxwork. You know, a lot of ways too. Like this is a movie that gets passed on a lot. Like not a lot of people have seen this, but you know, Cabin in the Woods is a movie that got a lot of praise, and it's very, it's a more modernized version of this. I feel like Cabin in the Woods has that Hellraiser knockoff character, and you know all these things at the end, like the anaconda and the unicorn and stuff. Whereas this movie did it with like classic Universal monster movies, like Dracula, Werewolf, Frankenstein, and brought them to life in like kind of different design knockoffs. And I like it. And then it kind of all comes to a culmination in the final act. It's a very big precursor, I think, to what a movie like Cabin in the Woods would be. And I think they both really work. I love them. In a lot of ways, I guess this could be a Cabin in the Woods story, you know, because they always say that, you know, the glitch in '98, which was, of course, a reference to The Faculty. I always thought that was really smart. And you got to give great credit to Bob Keane, man. Look at, I mean, some of how these waxwork designs work. I mean, they're fantastic. I also, I know the director, he had been to Madame Tussauds, and that's in New York City. And I've been there too. It's so cool, man. The museum, the figures, they look so real. They have Morgan Freeman, like right when you walk in. I don't know why, but Morgan Freeman's right at the door. And I thought it was a real guy. I was like, oh, who's this guy standing right by the door, just like not moving? Oh shit, it's Morgan Freeman. Like, I was like, dude, narrate something. Tell me about penguins. You know, like I was like, wow, I thought that was really something. That was a really cool day, though. They have some really cool ones. They have The Rock. I mean, so many awesome wax figurines. I'm a big fan of Waxworks. Oh, that's awesome. The guy shoving the gas pump down the bitch's throat. I remember the first time I watched this, I didn't know what I was in for. And this, I love the scene. Dana Ashbrook, he's getting the smoke, drops his lighter cigarettes right into the waxwork, and he can't find it. And now he almost steps into this portal. This is so cool, man. I love this movie. This is one of those movies that just every time I watch it, it's just so inspiring. Well, he's crossed over. Very cool. John Rhys Davies is excellent as the werewolf. Yes, and I love the practical design of the werewolf. It's so cool. I love this era too. Like, and he had fun, Anthony Hickox, with playing with style and mood and tone. Like stepping over into their world, and then when you get to Transylvania and the dinner scene with Dracula, I mean, that stuff is just fantastic. You got to start with God, then get better. Yeah, no, I agree with that. The Undead of Night's in the house. What's up, buddy? The cover artist is Jim Warren. He also did Night of the Living Dead cover, red lettering, and Alice Cooper cover for Raise Your Fist. Ooh, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. Is that Night of the Living Dead red cover? Was that the one that I was holding up the other week? The Night of the Living Dead that Lionsgate put out? Was that the same? The red? I think that's the red text one. Granted, there's so many covers of Night of the Living Dead. You can get them confused for sure. I think I know the one you're talking about, though. That's a red text, and it's like the red background. It's really cool. There's a cool interview with Dana Ashbrook in the making of this when he's like getting put in the makeup for this, and it's really, really funny. He's just like, oh man, so I'm sitting here and waiting to do my scene, and I don't know. He was just a real jokester. I really like Dana Ashbrook, man. I like the uses of the camera angles here, doing side shots throughout the woods. That's stuff that they would do in the old Lon Chaney werewolf films. They got to give it that mood. They could have even done black and white, which they do with the sequel. With Waxwork 2, there's a scene where they're spoofing The Haunting, and it's Bruce Campbell is in it. I love that. I think that was always such a really smart thing to do. And of course, they could do Aliens and Dawn of the Dead and Godzilla. I mean, the sequel is more modern movies, where this did like more old school movies, and they both work for their own reasons for sure. Oh shit, China will be the next to go. She's a douchebag to Mark. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I don't know. I totally I know that. I knew that girl. Like I knew girls like that, man. It's just she does such a good job playing the bitch. Apparently too, that there was a scene like towards the end where she says, you know, you always wanted to fuck me. Fuck me. That was the line. She couldn't say it. She wouldn't say fuck me. She kept saying take me. And that's when Zack Galligan, take this. Awesome stuff. I love that Michelle Johnson couldn't bring herself to say it. Like, I was always like, dude, why not? Like, it's just a movie. I like this lighting too. This like ultra blue lighting they're using here. Really good stuff. And now he's starting to turn. Oh no, he's starting to turn. I'll go get you some water. Coffee? I don't think coffee is going to fucking help you, brother. Coffee is not going to stop this motherfucker from turning into a werewolf. That's all I'm saying. No cigarettes, you know? That's always the... oh man, cigarettes are gross to me, man. I don't know. Anybody smoke cigarettes here? They fucking reek, man. He's like trying to please, like, oh, please, you know, I don't mean this. Oh, really good. You see the fingernails are starting to turn. The blood is seeping out. Oh, man, this is so good. Nothing like getting firewood. Do I get a pretty girl mileage? No, I get a dick. He was so good for this part, man. Dana Ashbrook's fantastic. He's another guy I just really like. He's just a very likable actor. Even though I'm not a big Return of the Living Dead 2 fan, I always really like Dana Ashbrook. Oh! And see, this is something like you'd see in Evil Dead, like using the camera to get closer and closer to the actor. Stay! And it's just like claustrophobic, pushing him in. Really good use of the camera here. I definitely think he took some inspiration from the way Sam Raimi directs. Like, if you watch closely, the use of gore, the use of the camera, how the camera is used, it's very Sam Raimi film school feeling. But what a good guy to take this from, you know? Oh! Not his arm. Oh, these random motherfuckers just pop in. Awesome werewolf design. I love this. Get the silver bullets, by God! Had this little Frodo looking guy distract them. Oh my God. Miles O'Keefe is excellent as Dracula. Yes, I love him, man. The whole cast is fantastic. The only thing I smoke is Fools and Bible trivia. Oh my God, you're the worst. Return of the Living 3 is the true sequel. The original changed my mind. It is. I think it's easily the best sequel of that entire... Yeah, no, it is. Oh no! You think Wolfman's gonna... Yeah, he's brushing that off. Chair shot to the Wolfman is not gonna do shit. Oh, head squish. Great practical gore. You could taste that gore. Oh my God. See, I remember the first time I saw this, they edited a lot of that out, like, because it was on the TV. I saw this on TV. I believe this was on Chiller. And, you know, they edited a lot of the gore out. It wasn't until I saw this unrated version that you see all the gore edited back in, and it's so wonderfully gory. That's a crazy gore scene. Just like... Dana Ashbrook is now infected, not looking good. I never smoked. Yeah, me neither. I never smoked in my life either. Poor Dana Ashbrook. He just wanted his poor cigarettes, man. Instead, turned into a werewolf. I like how they do the slow, gradual turn here. I like how they used to do this too in the older movies, where they would cut back and forth. Like, they would cut and he'd be normal. They'd cut back and then cut again, and it would be more visually, like, they would keep adding prosthetics and stuff upon each cut. I always liked that. I thought that was really smart. Shot dead. Rest in peps, Dana Ashbrook. He's the first to go. I guess the fool is always the first to go, right? And then now I like how this pans out into, this is just a display. This is just a display. Really cool. Staff only. And Zack Galligan doesn't even notice. Very creative, man. I think it's amazing that he wrote this in 3 days. Like, that's actually fucking insanely, like, creative and incredible. You wrote that in 3 days. Like, this is something that would take me months upon years to fucking get right. Oh, Michelle Johnson likes Dracula. Man, she was beautiful, man. What a beautiful woman. I wonder what she was what she was trying to do there. Like, if she actually, she's like, oh, let's take a look. Like, what the fuck were you trying to do? Like, peek? Like, here's Mr. Miles O'Keefe as Dracula, just ready for dinner. And I like the whole, the dress designs here, like, to be more in fitting with that time era. He has really, like, hypnotic dark green eyes, too. And so does she. She has beautiful eyes as well. Like, it's a good screen chemistry, even though they're so far from each other. They still somehow manage to have great screen chemistry. And I think it's funny. She doesn't question it at all. She's just like, oh, wow, I'm in this world. Like, this is a fantasy. Let me enjoy it. Like, Dana Ashbrook's like, what the fuck? Why can't I get a good fantasy at least? She's just like, all right, fuck it. I'm gonna sit down and have dinner with Dracula. Why not? How many people could say that? These old school, like, Transylvanian people. It's funny, for a movie with such a minuscule budget, too, it feels so grand. Like, it feels like they had millions upon millions invested, and it's really not the case. Gabrielle. I believe Michelle Johnson's character is supposed to be like a vegetarian or vegan or whatever. And of course, the steak tartare, anyone? It's like, I almost really would have liked to see Miles O'Keefe be Dracula in an actual Dracula film. Like, he does a really good job here. They could have used him for the Van Helsing movie from 2005. That's the worst thing about that movie. It's the fucking the guy who plays Dracula was so poor. He was such a bad choice. Now, fun thing about this steak tartare, if you will, they used, I believe, strawberries, watermelons, and like syrup to make it look like blood and guts. And I just think it's funny they just use fruit and syrup. Like, and you can sort of on the Blu-ray tell that there's strawberries in there. Steak tartare. Dracula, you would think would eat just like rare steak, not steak tartare. And the sauce, no, the sauce makes the dish. I love that, man. The effects in this are amazing. Yeah, dude, considering they had $3 million, Bob Keane actually worked 18-hour days on this film. And like, that's the thing, like, a lot of this movie is the effects. Like, it wouldn't be as impactful without the effects. The guy worked 18 hours a day to make sure this effects work worked. And I just really appreciate that. Like, to me, there's such a admiration that goes out to him for that. Like, because I think you really see how hard work pays off sometimes, no matter how much money he was paid or compensated. He probably wasn't compensated properly, but, years later, I can look back on this and just be like, I admire that guy. That guy worked his ass off. I never drank alcohol in my life. Me neither. I've never drinking alcohol either, man. Straight edge for life, brother. Let's see. This is a better Dracula than Argento's Dracula. Yeah, no, definitely. I would watch this 30 times in a row before I'd watch Argento's Dracula. Bob is a bloody genius. Yeah, no, for real. Emphasis on the bloody. That's the thing, too, with Hellraiser. Like, Hellraiser is just, again, it's not a big budget movie, but the special effects, like when Frank is reanimated. Holy shit, what a fantastic, like, to this day, one of my favorite special makeup effect sequences. I love no hesitation, but she dug right into that steak tartare, drinking some wine. I would love to have a nice dinner with fucking China, man. One night in China. I would love one night in China. Oh my God. And really, it's smart too, because you're having the actors and actresses, they're eating fruit. Like, this is all fruit, man. Favorite Dracula actor? Wow. Either Christopher Lee or Bella. I would say Bella. Honestly, Bella as Igor or as Igor, I love him as that character. That's my favorite Bela Lugosi performance, is Igor in Son of Frankenstein. I just think I think he really should have won an Oscar for that. I think Bela Lugosi was just such a fantastic performer. So yeah, I'll say Bela. I'll go old school. I'll go Bela. I love Christopher Lee though as well. I think he's great. A lot of people mentioned Gary Oldman. I think Gary Oldman's good too, but I will say Bela Lugosi for me. What's your thoughts on Hellraiser being remade? Man, they've remade everything at this point. If they're going to do the Frank reanimated scene in CGI, whatever, man. You have nothing on Bob Keane. You have nothing on 18-hour days of trying to make a film work and being paid dick for it. That's good filmmaking to me. That's heart, admiration, and the whole 9 yards. You can't remake Hellraiser. You just can't. It's Clive Barker's why that movie works. Bob Keane and oh God, who did the music? I think Anthony Young did the music. You can't. You just can't remake that movie. I think the whole cast. It's a absolute classic. Mine is Lugosi personally, but the guy from Monster Squad's a runner-up. Yeah, no, totally. I like that. I like the guy from Monster Squad as well too. But yeah, I would say Lugosi too. It's a tarp. Yeah. I like too the use of color throughout a lot of this too. Like you see the color blue a lot, but there's some really like burnt orange colors, like right here where she's checking out the closet, the burnt orange color. I like this, man. He was not afraid to use color in this movie, and that's what I think every filmmaker should do. Play with color, play with your color palette. Why not? There's something so exotic about this Dracula world, this Transylvania world he was able to create. Christopher Young's score in Hellraiser 1 and 2 is magnificent. Yes, it is. It's fantastic, man. I just think the world of Christopher Young. I think he's really, really cool. I believe he also did one of the Spider-Man movies, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's really good. I really like him. Now Michelle Johnson is being seduced. Almost. Not yet on mine. She's about to get bit. See, it goes to show you, though, like the girl that plays hard to play and the girl that even a vampire calls a bitch, she kind of deserves it. Running down the steps in this big dress. That must have not have been easy to film for her. I believe this is where she stumbles upon, yes, the white room. In the white room with black curtains is the savior. I like this scene, too, because it starts dark. And now it's going to get bright in there in this white, bright room. And by the end of it, when everything is said and done, it is anything but a white, bright room. It is splattered in the most vibrant of reds. Just, fantastic, man. Every time I watch this movie, I look forward to this particular scene just because it's fucking great. The room is literally whiter than her dress. That's actually crazy. And she gives a great performance. Like she's really like trying to sell the fear. It's not real. The guy on the I wish it was so. Oh my God, there's a rat. See this leg thing? Oh my God, that looks fucking real. I think, again, that's another Savini trick. Use the actor as much as you can. Like he's using the actor here. Really smart. The actor's talking and screaming, and you can see all of it in one go. Trying to watch on Tubi, but too many ads, 5 each time. Oh, yeah, no worries. No worries at all. The Nazi sucks. Yeah, no, the Nazi sucks. I agree with that. Uh-oh. She has been found. My pretty. This guy's haircut's great, too. I would love to visit the filming location of this room. It's just such a fucking cool room. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. Nice bite out of his leg. No fat, all muscle. Even this guy had a nice, distinct look to him. I like the fangs. Fangs look pretty good. Oh, man. China. China. Run, China. Nowhere to go. Jumping on this poor guy's fucking leg, man. This is such a weird chase. Oh, knife in hand. Oh, got him. That's not how you kill a vampire, though. Stab to the gut would work in a slasher movie, not against a vampire. Oh, man. Oh, and stabs this other guy. My God, this poor guy. He's just sitting there suffering. Oh, I like that. Tries the cross with the knives. Always like that. And I don't know if people watch Jack the Night Stalker, but he would do that from time to time. There was an episode where he was in this big mansion. He took these two fire pokers and did that, and the vampire backs away. I always love that cliche. Oh, really good special makeup effect here, too. The vampire screaming in the smoke. Oh, head explosion. Brilliant, darling. That would be me if I was, like, British. Wonderful. Epic shot here. Michelle Johnson trying to hoard off the vampires. Oh! Dude, sexy as fuck, covered in blood, man. I wonder if Michelle Johnson still looks this good, too. Oh! Dude, just painting the walls with blood. Oh, into the corner. Why not? Champagne for everybody. Oh, my God, dude. Anthony Hickox is my hero. Let's cover fucking Michelle Johnson and gore and fucking champagne in this white room. Oh, got a bug in here. Got him. Oh, maybe not. Did I get him that time? I think I got him that time. I like how this is kind of an anthology film, but with a different spin on it. Yeah, no, a little bit. It's each time era. That whole sequence in the White Room is fantastic. Love this. I'm going somewhere, my beauty. He was able to ooze charisma without even really selling much with his facial expressions. He's just like a badass Dracula, man. She kind of just gives up her neck to him, man. Dude, I would take a fucking bite out of Michelle Johnson's neck, too. Holy shit, man. She was a 10. No resistance. None. Go ahead. That's killed your whole flock, dude. And now she sees what he was checking out. He's biting her neck. Great stuff, man. That might be my favorite sequence in the movie. Like, the whole Dracula thing, I think is just so well done here. Like that, and I love the ending. I think that's like the two best things in this movie. It's all really well done. Of course, a lot of this was, not miniatures, but like sets that they built, like each one of these. China's second boyfriend is the next to go. Okay, James Moss is doing a little body counter here. Here we have Deborah Foreman for the first time in a while. Deborah Foreman's another person. Just her beautiful eyes, man. She's always the reason why I loved April Fool's Day so much. Is her performance as Muffy. I just think she's so much fun in that. Like kind of playing the I'm so nice and then the I'm so fucking crazy dual character role. Just really good stuff. I think she does a great job acting. I thought her and Zack Galligan had good chemistry here too. Like I like their scenes together. Even though he doesn't really want anything to do with her, he really is head over heels for China. You still get a nice chemistry, I think, between these two. It's now Deborah Foreman's turn to step into the light.
Where the hell are they?
Oh, not so fast. You getting scared? I love that, man, of course. This makes me want to visit like another wax museum or something. Like I think that would have been cool. It's funny, with the second Waxwork, he got to do a lot of the stuff in this that he wanted to do. Like he wanted to do initially a sci-fi exhibit where they visit the scene of aliens, of course. That's not in this movie, but they get to do in the next one. They also, he wanted to end it with the big dramatic sword fight. That's not in this movie. It's in the next one. It's cool that they let him do a second. It would have been nice to get a trilogy out of it, but it's sad because the second Waxwork, it's basically Waxwork 1, but with the budget dropped down to like a quarter. Waxwork 2 was made for like $750K, whereas the first one was made for $3 million. So it's a shame. It's a very big drop off in budget, but I still think Waxwork 2 has its charm. I wonder what an Argento Dark Universe would be since he did remake Phantom of the Opera and Dracula 3D. Well, those two are two of his worst movies. Like I would say both those movies are an F. So I don't know. His Dark Universe smells like a dark piece of shit to me. I have no idea. I did watch, Aiden, you'd be interested here. I did watch the Blu-ray of the Stenhall Syndrome last night. I love that movie, man. That's a great one. I really think Stenhall is great. Lake George Wax Museum was kind of garbage. I need to go to a real impressive one. Yeah, no, I recommend Madame Tussauds in the city. I think that was the best wax museum I've ever been to. But there's a ton. I know in Salem they had a really cool one that I went to. Really fun. I definitely think there was a really cool one with The Shining where it was Jack Nicholson, but it was a wax dummy. I don't know. I just love it. I like the Angry Video Game Nerd. It's funny. Yeah, no, same here. I like him too. Forget who says it. So one of my followers always says that I look like him, and I was just like, wow, I wish I had as many subscribers. R.I.P. Dark Universe. Yeah, Dark Universe is. I don't know. I guess Frankenstein. Frankenstein, whatever the fuck that movie was called with fucking Aaron Eckhart. That fucking was a piece of shit too. So, I mean, Dark Universe just wasn't meant to be, I guess. Now, another fun thing about this too, Phantom of the Opera is used here. David Warner discusses that was a movie. Blah blah blah. Initially, this was supposed to be the Friday the 13th thing. It was going to be Jason in an exhibit, and David Warner going, "Oh, Friday 13th, that's a movie," and that's actually what they were going to do. But they were fighting Paramount with the rights issues, and of course, Paramount was stingy about it. They wanted more money, and they didn't have the money to pay him, so they couldn't use Jason. Instead, they used the Phantom of the Opera, which I thought was interesting. I was like, "Oh man, like what a shame!" Like imagine a Jason Voorhees segment in this movie. Like that would have been so freaking cool, man. I've never been to a wax museum, but they seem interesting. They're so much fun. They're so much fun if you go to a good one. The Stenhall Syndrome is great. Easily one of my favorites from Argento. He's a rare horror filmmaker who made a great film. And yeah, it's true. Totally true. I love Stenhall. I think Stenhall Syndrome is great. I one day will go to a Waxwork. Yeah, same, man. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely a lot of fun. Oh my God, I see you, Def R. James Rolf Light, LMAO. Yeah, no, I a lot of people say that. I was just always like, I guess so. Maybe I'm a younger angry video game nerd. I think Devin always says it. Devin says that I'm like the poor man's angry video game nerd, but with movies. And I was like, oh gee, thank you. I don't even know if that's supposed to be a compliment or what, but I took it as one. I could take it as one for sure. Again, love these scenes between the two of them. Deborah Foreman just has a great likability. She's just such a, I don't know, she's a cutie, man. I think Deborah Foreman is just a cute actress, man. Really just likable, especially in this role. I really like her a lot. She doesn't have to do much, but she's fantastic. Favorite Argento from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. 70s, either Suspiria or Deep Red. Those two are fucking great. Bird with Crystal Plumage is also great. 80s, either Phenomena or Tenebrae. Opera's great too. I would say Phenomena in the 80s. In the 90s, I'd say Stenhall. I love Trauma as well, but Stenhall I like a little bit better. It's also fresher in my mind. 2000s, Mother of Tears. That would be my favorite from the 2000s. I'm a huge Argento fan. Really like all his stuff. It's funny too, what people forget, Deborah Foreman's character in this movie is rich. You see he just dropped her off at this hotel, really nice. In the sequel, though, when they recast Deborah Foreman, because they recast Deborah Foreman, and I always wondered, why the fuck would you recast Deborah Foreman? Like, what, are you stupid? Apparently, she and director Anthony Hickox were dating at the time of this film. and had a very messy breakup in between the 4 years where it took from Waxwork 1 in 1988 to Waxwork 2 in 1992. And they had this whole blow off, bad, messy breakup, and that's why she was recasted in Waxwork Part 2. But what I was always funny, in Waxwork 2, the character is dirt poor. And George Buck Flower from of course, They Live, and he's been in a ton of John Carpenter films. I always remember him from They Live. He's the guy at the end, and Keith David goes, "Excuse me, but where the hell are we?" I always love that scene at the end of that movie. It's just such a funny scene. But George Buck Flower plays her father in the sequel very briefly before he gets killed. But it's funny. It's they're dirt poor in the sequel, and in this movie they're filthy rich. Like, I always thought that was really funny. And now here's the next day of filming. You could clearly tell this was filmed on the same day because a lot of them were wearing the same shit. It was almost just like, okay, move these two actors off, go, action, On Monday, the CD that I ordered from Amazon came. It's Black Sabbath 1976 album Technical Ecstasy. Jesus Christ. I don't know why I had trouble saying that word. Ecstasy. Dude, Black Sabbath is one of my favorite. James Moss, favorite Black Sabbath song. I got to hear it, bro. What's your favorite Black Sabbath song? Mine would probably be Paranoid. I love that. Excellent choices. Thank you. I'm only starting to see Argento stuff now. I saw Suspiria for the first time recently. It was great. Yeah, no. I recently got this sound bar for down here and a subwoofer. Watching Suspiria with a fucking soundbar subwoofer is fucking amazing. Like, it really is. They Live is my personal favorite from Carpenter, but I will admit The Thing is Carpenter's magnum opus. They Live is probably my second or third favorite. I think They Live is I would say it's the last masterpiece John Carpenter made. Like, I love They Live. I think it's so good. The Thing is his best movie. I agree with that, but They Live is probably his most fun movie. I adore it. I love They Live, man. I always loved George Buck Flower. I thought he was a great actor, freaking Carpenter collaborator. And of course, I always thought it was funny. He shows up in Waxwork 2 as Deborah Foreman's dad. I love They Live. It's awesome. Yeah, no, me too. They Live is a fantastic little movie. Favorite song is Mob Rules. Yo, hell yeah, brother. Love it. Love it. Listen to Black Sabbath, everybody. Black Sabbath is the bomb. Absolutely love Black Sabbath. And I love this scene too. Mr. David Warner. Now all dressed suave as Zack Galligan has brought the police to his waxwork. It was a really nice location too. I really like the building that they picked. It really does look like it would be like something used for a wax museum. David Warner does an excellent job in this role. I really like. He's just having a blast with this. It's crazy that they only had him for 2 days. Like, that's such a shame. I wish they had him for more. Children of the Grave fave for me. Yo, hell yeah, Children of the Grave's awesome too. I'm a big. I actually like the song Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath. What is this that stands before me? I mean, one of my faves. Just Black Sabbath is one of my, like, a top 10 band for me. Also a big Doors guy. I love the Doors, Beatles, Zeppelin. Definitely big on those bands. Ozzy's the man. Of course, I did the whole Mr. Crowley cover on a past episode. When I think at Worst Firsts, I did the Mr. Crowley cover. Also on the Summertime Slashing series, I did a cover of it too. Making fun of Adam Green's Hatchet, which is always fun. Oh no, don't leave him alone. Not a smart idea. David Warner was a tall motherfucker, man. I don't know how tall this son of a bitch was. He looked like he's like 6'4". A tall dude. He dwarfs this guy next to him. The guy next to him is not even that tiny. I believe too, Hickox really wanted to do like medieval times in this, like a medieval section. And again, that's the big focus of the sequel, the medieval part. Like, to me, that's where the film, the sequel drags a little bit, is when it gets to the medieval part. That's like my only, I don't know, like it really, like, they could have cut out a good 15, 20 minutes of that medieval part in the sequel. Like, I don't know. It really always dragged to me. But it would have been cool to see it done here. Like, if it was done like quickly, like the other two, it would have worked a lot better. I like this background music, this royalty-free background music. Light My Fire is my favorite song for the Doors. I would go with People Are Strange. I love that song. People Are Strange. Love Her Madly. The End is fantastic. I'm a big fucking Doors fan, man. I'm trying to think. 5 to 1. I love that song. Waiting for the Sun. There's so many good Doors. Doors is like probably my favorite band. I love the Doors. Push Jules. I will admit I'm a huge fan of In the Mouth of Madness, but Vampires, but They Live is great. Ward is underrated as well, but ain't no masterpiece. Yeah, no, I think They Live is the last, like, when I think, okay, John Carpenter masterpieces, if I was to list them off, that's the last one to me. Like, that I'm like, okay, no doubt. I like Vampires a lot. I like In the Mouth of Madness, but to me, like, They Live, that's like almost like one of the best movies he ever did. The Detective is Next to Go. Oh, hell yeah, he is. You know it, man. Now, you see all these missing people posters. If you think you've seen them before, it's very possible. A year before this, these same missing people posters were used for a little film called The Lost Boys. Yes, they used the same missing people photos for this movie that they did in Lost Boys. So if you ever watch these movies back to back and you keep a sharp eye out for those, you can actually see that it's the same thing. I love the staff only thing and the text and stuff. It's fucking hilarious, man. Texas Big Beat for the Doors. Oh my God, dude, that's my dad's favorite song. My dad loves that. That and my dad loves Roadhouse Blues. I love that. Roadhouse Blues is a great when you're driving. Keep your eyes on the road, your hands upon the wheel. Oh, and who could forget Morrison Hotel and Maggie McGill? Maggie McGill, bum, bum, she lived on a hill, bum, bum, her daddy got drunk and left her no will. So, all right, sorry, I'm sorry. I don't mean to sing. Mouth of the Madness is fantastic as well. Yeah, no, that's a great movie. So these people have been missing for over a year. So sad. See, that's why I like watching movies with Mark, man. He always just like thinks of shit that I wouldn't think of. Oh, my man's getting close to Michelle Johnson. Hell yeah. With a pocket knife. What a dummy. And I like this here where they zoom in and you can see now that it's wax. Michelle Johnson is turned to wax. Really cool. Oh, but you see the blood underneath. They actually do something very similar to that in that House of Wax remake. I don't know if Tyrese is still here. I guess Tyrese was here for 2 seconds, maybe. I don't know. I like the song the Doors did with Skrillex called I'm Breaking a Sweat. Ooh, I don't know. I'm not familiar with that one. Lost Boys, fantastic vampire movie. Yeah, probably one of the best of the 1980s. That and Fright Night. Do you read Sutter Kane? Yeah, there you go. I like this little Ouija board too in this attic scene here. No way! The horror boy is here! Yay! Horror boy. Nate. Dude, I haven't seen your name on one of my live streams in fucking hell and ever, man. It is so good to see your name. Nate Murphy, welcome to the friggin' graveyard, man. Hope all's with you, buddy. Yeah, no. Yes. I love it, man. I love it. In and Out of the Madness is definitely one I'd like to cover on the show one of these days. I like this scene of going through the attic, the Life magazines, the one who has FDR, I see. Searching for the clues of the waxwork. Horror Lord murdered. Okay, this out and this dramatic lighting. And then the wind. I love this, man. Sound effects. That subwoofer, bro. That subwoofer's going nuts right now. I don't have it too loud. Mommy is coming next. Yeah, I think you're a little bit ahead of me, but that's no problem. It's great to be back. Dude, it's great to have you back. How's your day? Hope all is well with you, man. I took the night off, so I'm able to chill and hang out in the graveyard. Dude, good for you, man. You work hard, man. So happy to have you on here tonight. Yeah, no, I definitely, had been wanting to do this Waxwork commentary for a while, so I'm glad you come to the chat tonight. It's really, really cool, man. They're doing their whole exposition scene in the attic right now. Nate, what are your thoughts on Waxwork? I don't know if we've ever talked Waxwork before. I would think you're a fan. I definitely think it's up your alley. We usually agree on most things. That teacher should be fired. Nice. Yeah, no, totally. I love Waxwork, such a badass flick. Gotta see part 2. Yeah, no, I have this this 2-pack, Nate, of Waxwork 1 and Waxwork 2. I highly recommend Waxwork 2. It's a fucking fun movie. It's less budget, but Waxwork 2 is a lot of fun too. I enjoy Waxwork 2. I would say the first one is better, but mainly because of the budget. Okay, now the inspector has gone into the mummy times. I think James is a little bit ahead of me. Is the teacher a Nazi? Yeah, in the beginning, the teacher's a Nazi, yes. Another good-looking woman in this fucking Rome. Like Anthony Hickox had a good taste of women, man. I believe he fucking dated somebody else, like really famous too. I don't know if it was Drew Barrymore or he was with mad women, Anthony Hickox. Like, it's actually unbelievable. It might have even been, I don't know why I thought Drew Barrymore. I think it might have been Cameron Diaz. He was with some good-looking women in their prime, man. I don't know why, because he's not a very good-looking guy. He looks like fucking a young Uwe Boll. Like, he looks exactly like Uwe Boll to me. Like, he had the same face. Probably nobody get that, but I don't know. Nice, I'll check it out. Yeah, totally. I really enjoy Waxwork. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I really enjoy it too. I remember watching this back in the day. I mean, you're talking probably over 10 years ago, in my grandmother's house. And it came on late night, and I watched it, and I was just immersed by it. It's just such a magical, creative film. They're, of course, in the mummy's tomb now. The giant spider on the mummy's face as they're trying to grab the scroll. Everyone's talking about Malignant. I'll have to see it. Bro, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I know there's a lot of people who are going to tell you it's terrible. I would say listen to me. Just go see it. Go in to see it with an open mind. It's a really good movie. I highly recommend Malignant. Night House again. Yeah, that's the one I missed, man. I was so busy that weekend, and it barely played in theaters by me. Night House was the other one I really want to see. David Bruckner's film. I will definitely see it whenever I can. But Malignant was awesome. Nate, if you are a fan of James Wan, you will love or at least like Malignant. You know, that's what I thought too, Aiden, but I know people that love The Conjuring and Saw and Insidious, and they didn't like it either. So I don't know. I think people were actually expecting Malignant to be a carbon copy of those movies, you know, and it's just not. Oh, curb stop. Oh my God. Dude, that guy's head is flat as fuck now. Really good curb stomp. I like this sequence here. Rebecca Hall was great in The Awakening. I also really like Rebecca Hall in a little movie with Will Ferrell in it called Everything Must Go. And it's a really good Will Ferrell movie where Will Ferrell's wife kicks him out of the house in the very beginning. And he basically starts living on their lawn. And Rebecca Hall is this across the street neighbor that he sort of has a thing for. And it's a great movie. It's a really, he makes this like friend in the neighborhood who's this little kid, and he kind of takes care of him. Great Will Ferrell movie. One of my favorite Will Ferrell movies out there. Everything Must Go, and Rebecca Hall's great in that. I love Dead Silence. Dead Silence is great. Everybody's favorite Wan film. Wow. The Conjuring. The Conjuring's the best, I think, of James Wan stuff. Dead Silence is great. Everything Must Go was awesome. Yeah, I love that movie. I was just accepting a good movie when going into Malignant, still looking for it. Oh, man. I just got Dead Silence on Blu-ray. I'm excited to rewatch it soon. I have the DVD still. That's a great one. Oh, no. Oh, she just got fucking gorilla press slammed into the tomb. Crazy battle with the mummy here. Dude, if I was that snake, I would have get with that woman too. Oh, no. Buried for life. Cool pink filter here. I like this. Wow. That's very aesthetic. Oh, here he is. Fave Wan film is The Conjuring 2. Love that movie too. Yeah, Everything Must Go is so good. Yeah, no, even diehard Will Ferrell fans haven't really seen that movie. That's, I think, one of his better movies. Definitely his best serious role, I would say. The Mummy moves very smooth for something dead so long. Yeah, no, definitely. And it has a nice, I like the design of it in this movie. I love this actor too. We were talking about before, I forget his damn name. We were talking about it just with James Moss. He also narrated the making of this. He's fucking so much fun in this. He was saying in the making of it, he was like, oh, I've gotten my arm chopped off. I've gotten this. I've gotten that. In this film, I get my bloody head taken off. I was like, yes, I love this guy. Does everybody in this movie have green eyes? Zack Galligan, Deborah Foreman, this guy, Michelle Johnson. Dude, everybody in this movie has Dracula. Everybody in this movie has green eyes. I just noticed that. That's maybe because this Blu-ray just pops off the screen, man. I got to go The Conjuring as well. It's a movie that came along and actually scared me the first time I watched it. Hadn't been scared. Yeah, no, I think it's like the best fucking like throwback to 70s haunted house movie that there is. Like, I know a lot of people will say movies like House of the Devil. I would say that like The Conjuring is the closest thing we ever got to Burnt Offerings after Burnt Offerings, or the Amityville Horror after the Amityville Horror. Like, it's just such a masterpiece. Everything Must Go is pretty damn good. Yeah, no, totally. I love this guy. What did you bloody kill him for? That Sentence is my favorite at the moment, but I guarantee if I rewatch Malignant a couple times, it might be my favorite. That Sentence is great. That's the Death Wish remake that we really deserved, I think. Thoughts on the new Candyman? I thought it was disappointing. I had no interest. I was, at first I was intrigued. I thought the trailer looked interesting. And then everybody that went to go see it told me, Grande, it's very political. And I just completely turned me off. I'm not going to pay my hard-earned money to see a film that's political. Not interested. If I want politics, I will turn on the news. And there's a big reason I watch the news, because I don't like politics. I have more hobbies in that, more interest in that. I don't know. And I noticed a lot of people that went into it wanted to see a slasher movie. Like Candyman was successful box office wise, but a lot of the people that went in to see a slasher movie told me this: oh, well, the kills were off screen, Grande. Then what did you really get your money's worth? Like, I don't know. I get it. There's always room for politics and a political statement. I get it. But like, to me, it's let's sell the movie with the Candyman name with this big political thing as the forefront. And this film is attached in the background. I think it should be the other way around. I think the film should be the main, your actors, your direction, your storyline. And if your little subliminal message, that should be something in the back. But this way, it doesn't get in the way of the film working. And that's what I dreaded with Candyman. And after I heard all the reviews, I said, I don't want to hate watch this. I will wait. I'm not going to pay my money to see it. I'll eventually see it, but if it's political, uber political, I'm good. I haven't seen the new Candyman. Yeah, no, me neither. That big guy's a dumbass. Yeah, I always call him Lurch because he reminds me of Lurch from the Addams Family. Yeah, it's very political. Threw me way off. I was like, huh? Yeah, no, it's not interested. I haven't seen the new Candyman yet, but I kind of just want to stick with the original. You can't. Well, the first Candyman was political as well, but it was subtle about it. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's the thing. The first Candyman, I remember the creepy environment, the aesthetics, that scene in the bathroom, the horror you feel in the scene in that bathroom when she sees that kid's been fucking mutilated. Oh my God. And I love the backstory of Candyman, which wasn't in the original Clive Barker story, which a lot of people don't realize, but that was added by Bernard Hopkins, the director. He added that in. He said, why don't we make this a little bit more of a backstory? And they added that in of the whole, a white woman loves this black man, and the father was a racist piece of shit and covered him in honey, and he got stung by the bees and thus becomes Candyman. I love that backstory. It's fantastic. And you feel a sort of sympathy, and it's a tragic character, the Candyman character, Daniel Robitel. But this new movie, it's just, from what I've heard, it's like just trying to be political out the wazoo, and there's multiple Candymans. I'm just like, I'm not interested, man. To me, there's only one Candyman, and that's Tony Todd. And I know Tony Todd apparently is in the film. I don't know how much he's in the film, but unless he's in it the whole time, man, I'm not interested. I'm just not. I don't know. I love Candyman. I love Tony Todd, but I passed. I don't know. Maybe someday I'll see it. I don't know. Just didn't definitely did not make me enthusiastic to go see it. And also when I heard it was all essentially goreless and shit, like, I don't know. See, Sir Wilfrid, yes, that's it. Sir Wilfrid. They were just in the scene with Sir Wilfrid. They're now getting a cab back to the Waxwork. Old school cab, too. Circa Escape from New York. For this fun-ass finale that we're about to see. It's amazing how fast-paced this film is, too. Like, I feel like I've been here for 5 minutes. And this movie's been on over an hour. Like, it's crazy, but it's just so good. I know how long he's in it, but I don't want to spoil it for the chat. Yeah, no, it's okay. You don't have to spoil it. The problem was the message of the movie took over the film to where the plot and the rest of the movie just got put in the background. Exactly. Like, that can really, like, I remember the Candyman, the original film, for all these things I said before. Virginia Madsen's performance and Tony Todd's performance and the creepy cinematography and the stories and the spook element. The fact that original Candyman film is so scary. That's why I like the original movie. You know, and the others, that other stuff, it can drown it. I know how long he's in. Oh, okay, we said that. Basically just a cameo. Okay. Werewolf in Waxwork looks great. Yeah, no, it does. We were at that scene a little while ago. Fantastic, man. We were also talking about how much we liked the actor, Mr. O'Keefe, that plays Dracula in this. The sets and stuff is fantastic. I always just think it's funny that Anthony Hickox, you know, he had this dream plan for the ending, and his father even told him, dude, don't wait to shoot your ending. Like, film the ending in the middle. This way you don't run out of money and time. And both happened. He ran out of money. He ran out of time. And unfortunately, you know, he had to film the finale, the final sequence in just one day. And it's amazing how good it came out, considering it must have been a rushed shoot. They must have been like, holy shit, we have to get this done. And usually 9 times out of 10, getting it done is the wrong mentality to have in film. But man, it just somehow worked here. I think this movie is a lot of fate. Like the fact that the director crashed into the producer, and then that's how they kind of got the funding for this movie. They got into a car accident. So this movie was really meant to be. Uh-oh. Sarah's gone. Oh, and a little assist. Here we go with more sequences like this. Mark is going to the zombie place. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm at the part where Deborah Foreman is in. She's about to get chained up, and this guy cuts this great promo on her. They will use you like a whore. I love this. This is so good. Snapping. What an imagination this movie has, man. Just a great imagination. It's funny, like if you had $20 million to make this movie, it would be even grander, you know. But I definitely it still feels so grand. It's like it goes to show you how much creativity can overmatch a minuscule budget. Also notice too, around this time we're watching the film, there's so many close-ups. That's how I noticed the stuff with all these eyes, like her beautiful green eyes, so many close-ups. Final scene is a madhouse. Dude, I love the final scene. And I love the Leslie Gore song at the end. I just love it. I'm going to turn it up for that, man. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it in the background. I in the past have done that where you can hear them, but I've been told that I could get copyrighted for that. So that's the last thing I want. So I have it a little bit lower for this show. So I'm sorry if you guys can't hear it in the background, but I don't know. I definitely enjoy this. I like doing commentaries every now and again. They're a lot of fun. Uh-oh. He's got the whip, by God. Thoughts on how M House 2? You're talking about the second story? Second story? It's okay. It's okay, but House 1 is my favorite. House 1 is definitely my favorite, for sure. I got to go now. Bye for now. Dude, rock on, man. Thanks for checking out the show. Enjoy your Black Sabbath album and enjoy the weekend. Long live Waxwork, man. Thank you for joining, and pleasure to have you. Romero is a perfect example of a phenomenal filmmaker doing so much for a small budget. The Dead trilogy is a perfect example. Yes, Dawn of the Dead is the prime example. I believe he had a budget of like $900,000, and he makes that zombie apocalypse feel grand, feel fucking, you know, completely grand. It's absolutely crazy. It really is. Stay frosty, James. Just put on headphones. Oh, nice. Okay, so you can hear me on the headphones. I'm in your ear, buddy. Nightman. Yeah, the second story. I like House 1 the best, but House 2, the second story, is definitely the best sequel. House 3, the horror show, nah, never really cared for it. And House 4 is the worst. I hate House 4. Ooh, Deborah Foreman getting some kissing action going on. It must be so weird to direct your girlfriend to kiss another man. Like, House is a classic 80s horror. House 2 is fun, but it ain't the same. Yeah, it's not. I think, it's funny because we were shitting on him the last week's show, Steve Miner's Day of the Dead. Steve Miner, I think he brought a great sense of humor to the first House, and I think that's what it was missing in the second. Like, I don't like the humor as much in the second film. I've only seen the first House. We'll have to see the sequel. Yeah, it's good. Now we're at the, of course, classic Night of the Living Dead homage with Zack Galligan in the graveyard. Really cool stuff. I like how they turned it to black and white to kind of pay homage to George's film. Good practical makeup effects of taking off the hand with the rock. Oh, man, so good. I like how they changed Zack Galligan's hairstyle and stuff, too, for the flashback. Oh, that dreaded hand. That hand is the key to the sequel when you think about it. Get out of there, Zach. I'm going to cover House sometime, hopefully in October. I wanted to do House from 86 and House from 1977, the Japanese film. I figured that would be fun because they're both called House. They're both pretty famous horror movies. I think it would be funny because they're both completely different movies. They're nothing alike each other. So I think that would be a fun one to do for sure. I like the visual effects, too, of him feeling for the wall, and it's like all these blue static things. Really fun. I will never understand a great filmmaker like Steve Miner make David. Yeah, no, I don't. It's just bizarre. Whoa! Zack Galligan's out of the Waxwork. We're just trying to get him. What a goofy chase. Now he's in the old school. Feels like they're going to kick in with Thriller. Oh, my God, dude, that would be fantastic. Where's Vincent Price at? This is Thriller. He's having this struggle with this George Washington-looking motherfucker. Oh! George Washington took a hell of a bump into the steel cage there. By God. This guy just keeps calling Deborah Foreman a whore. He's like, you fucking whore. How's my week been? My week's been great, man. Been working. Tomorrow I'm hitting Spirit Halloween, so that should be a lot of fun. I'm going with my buddy Ryan, so that should be a lot of fun. Saturday, I think I have planned Saturday. I forget, though. And Sunday is usually just my lazy day. But I've been playing the Spider-Man game on the PS4. It's fantastic, Nate. How's your week been? What do you got planned for this weekend, man? Also, Nate, what's your thoughts on House 2 and House? Definitely would like to hear your thoughts. Oh, she's getting whipped. Get in there, Zach. Oh, what a cool door opening sequence to all these beautiful ladies. One of them playing a harp. A lot of fun. I like the heart tattoos on their cheeks, too. There's a Day of the Dead remake. Yeah, so we covered it last week on the show. Directed by Steve Miner, and it is a piece of shit. I said last week, in 1985, George Romero brought us the darkest day in horror the world had ever known. And in 2008, Steve Miner took the biggest piece of shit the world has ever smelled. Oh my God, this is brutal. Just whipping this poor girl. All the scratch marks. Oh my God, brutal. No, Deborah. Don't do this to Deborah. Deborah's bae. Mine's good. Just getting through it. Glad I took the day off. I needed a break. Are you taking off tomorrow too, good brother? Loved the first House. House 2 was a lot of fun. Yeah, no doubt, man. I think House 1 is my favorite, and then I do like House 2 as well. Do you have? I don't have the box set. I know there's a big Blu-ray box set of them. I would love to get that, but it's like $200, man. That's absurd. Like, I love the first two movies, but man, I'm not paying $200 for 4 movies. That's crazy. I like this too, where Deborah Foreman is almost tranced to stay. I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave. She enjoying being whipped. Not only is it a piece of shit Day of the Dead remake, but has a shitty 2000s filter. Yeah, no, it's filmed like Saw. It's so shitty, man. Oh, I love how he can talk about Day of the Dead remake as soon as it came out. It took him 30 years. Yeah, he fucking avoided talking about Friday the 13th Part 2 and 3. Like those were bad movies. And yet he recorded like 2 or 3 commentaries for Day of the Dead 2008, starring Nick Cannon. What the fuck, man? Shelley, Nick Cannon. Richard Brooker, Nick Cannon. Dana Kimball, even though she's not that good of an actress, Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon stinks. I'll have to check out that episode. I'll work tomorrow, but I'm going Extreme Rules next weekend. Can't wait. No way, dude, that's awesome. Good for you. What did you think on Big E winning the title? I was so happy for Big E Langston. I love him. Hard work pays off, man. Big E is a good dude. I just absolutely adore Big E Langston. Very happy he won the title. That's hard work that pays off, man. And have you been catching AEW, Nate? I know you're a big wrestling guy. I know CM Punk came back and everybody was going crazy. I don't know. I haven't watched it in a long time. I'm not really. People were like, "Oh, Punk comes back, you'll watch." I'm like, "Nah, not really." I've been so out of it lately. I enjoyed. Me and Nate did a Grande's Graveyard on ECW one night, or no, ECW Barely Legal '96. That was a really fun show we did together. This is such an intense sequence, man. Holy shit. Oh, nice, Nate. Very cool. Yeah, totally. I'm so happy for Big E, but I'm worried about one person. Oldberg! Dude, did you see Bobby Lashley choked out Oldberg's son? That's the greatest thing I've seen in wrestling in 10 years. That was the greatest thing. Fuck Oldberg and his fucking stupid son. It works for Saw and a couple of the other Tobe Hooper films, but holy shit, Steve Miner really let himself go. Yeah, that's like when a thin person automatically just becomes like 300 pounds. It's like you left yourself go. What would your thoughts be if that remake went into theaters? My thoughts would be it's just like asking Clubber Lang his thoughts before the fight. My thoughts, pain. That's my thoughts. Yeah, AEW All Out was amazing. WWE is honestly pretty bad right now. Yeah, no, it's horrible. But I'm happy. If one bright spot is Big E Langston, I'm very happy about that. I've just always been a big fan. So I like this. The whole we will meet again. Very epic feel to it. It almost feels like a different. That's the thing with this movie. It's again, like I was always talking about grand movies. This is a grand movie. It has humor. It has that creativity element. It has fun, really good acting. It's just there's so much to it. It's great gore. It's such a grand movie. There's so much to like about Waxwork. That sequence in particular is great, and it's a great lead up to this epic finale we're about to get. They're about to cross over the barrier. Part of me wishes Deborah Foreman would have came back for the sequel. I know that if you have a bad breakup, it's awkward, especially to work with that person. But man, I don't know. I think she definitely was miles better than the actress they got for the sequel. Like I just think I don't know. There's something about her. There's a good charisma to her that really would have worked a lot better. Not that the actress in Waxwork 2 does a bad job, but I don't know. It sorely misses her. Oh, back in the Waxwork. I like David Warner and Lurch here. They put them in like almost a wrestling maneuver. They grab one arm and cuff the mouth. Now there's more of it. The guy with the squeaky voice told me. Oh my god, these people's clothes, this is like so 80s. Like, what the fuck is this lady wearing? Oh my god, her shirt has stripes and polka dots. What the fuck, lady? If that was acceptable in the 80s, dude, that's pretty bad. This guy's like shitty leather jacket, sword earrings. Wow, this fucking couple loses every fashion statement that there ever was, dude. That's fucking bad. Who has sword earrings, dude? Oh, stepping into the Waxwork. Rest in pepperonis. Oh, that didn't take very long. It also makes you wonder, too, how the time thing works. And you step into a Waxwork thing, because it seems to immediately appear that they're dead. Like, does time sort of slow down when you're in there? Well, it would have been an interesting thing to touch upon in the sequel. AJ Zitro's in the house. What's going on, AJ? You're just here in time for the epic finale of one Waxwork. Yeah, gotta love Waxwork. Woo, yeah. Oh, man, great special makeup effects here, too. Oh, the Waxwork is coming to life. Oh. The fact that, how is this all filmed in one day? Like, how did they do this, man? It's so well done. And again, you know, we were talking about how I felt the Cabin in the Woods was almost an updated version of this. Cabin in the Woods, the ending, is almost exactly this, with just a lot more CGI. Speaking of Tobe Hooper, I'm Dangerous Tonight is coming to Blu-ray 2K scan from T. Oh, really? Kino's awesome, man. Kino Lorber's great. Hey, AJ. CM Punk returning. I didn't mind see that happening in a million years. Yeah. Hey, all. I saw this once back in the day. Oh, did you? Were you in the theater seeing this? Because I know you saw quite a few awesome horror movies in the theater. Seeing Waxwork on 35mm with a crowd would be a fun night, I think, at the movies. But it's been a fun commentary to do so far. So thank you, everybody, for joining. It's been a fun time. And it's now time for the finale. Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson debuting in the same night. Yeah, crazy, man. AJ was sending them to me. I was like, wow, like AEW is certainly hitting its stride. Oh my God, that snake creature. Michelle Johnson is a vampire. No, what have you done to me? Sir Wilfred in a wheelchair leading a mob. There is nowhere to run. The angry mob is great. Apparently, there's a great Gilbert Gottfried story with this scene. So they would cut to commercial here, and Gilbert Gottfried, for whatever reason, the shirt that Zack Galligan's wearing, it makes him look like he's a little bit heavy. And Gilbert Gottfried would say, "We'll be right back with Waxwork, starring Zack Galligan after 40 cheeseburgers." I would kill to watch like a Gilbert Gottfried hosted Waxwork in similar veins to Joe Bob Briggs and or Elvira. Like Gilbert is great. Gilbert Gottfried, people don't realize is he's a diehard horror fan. Diehard. And this is one he actually did a late night stay up for. I would kill to watch it. I don't know if it exists or if it is anywhere online. If it is, let me know. Oh my God, this finale is crazy. People stabbing each other, punching each other. Sir Alfred in a wheelchair stabbing the fuck out of people. Oh, this must have been so much fun to film, even though it must have been the most stressful day of his life, because this was the last day of filming. Gilbert is awesome. I love Gilbert Gottfried. AEW All Out was one of the historical pay-per-views. Yeah, no, definitely. They're a player. They're a big player on the street now, man. And I hope they kick WWE's ass. I'm very sour on WWE. If it wasn't for the beauty that is Alexa Bliss, I don't think I could ever support WWE. Oh my God, this is such a crazy fucking battle, man. How many extras do you think were used for this? I mean, it must have been a ton. Oh, choking sanding the guy down with the rope. Oh, the no-look stab to the throat. Also, if you're an editor, this must be one of the hardest scenes to fucking edit. Like, you're given all this material from one day of filming, and you're like, oh my God, I have to make this work. I love that. Deborah Foreman, it's me. Sorry. Knees him in the balls. Holy moly, this is epic. David Warner just shooting people. Michelle Johnson with her yits out. Well, not really. I wish. My God, man. China. One night in China. Oh no, she's baby facing him. I missed you. Now let me get your neck. Oh! I love this guy. You know, she wasn't human, you know. Come on, son. Do you see her fangs? Oh! Bro, what a fucking fun finale. Kiss me, Sarah. Kiss this. How did fucking Sir... Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Take this. I forgot. I always thought it was Michelle Johnson's character. It's actually, oh God, I forget her damn name. I'll find her damn name. I think it's Carrie something. Stab to the gut there. Oh, man. What is her name? Let me see. Claire Carey. That's her name. She's the one that she couldn't say, you've always wanted to fuck me. Now fuck me. You know, and she couldn't bring herself to say fuck me. So that she just said, take me. I guess if they had more days to shoot this, she would have been able to say it. But since it was the only day, she just refused. She was like, I'd rather just say take me. It would have been fine if she said fuck. I think fuck me would have been more hardcore. Oh my God. Oh no, covering that zombie in gasoline. Oh, that baby just got shot. Oh my God. Nothing like the wax baby getting shot. Oh, Dracula gets turned into a bat, his head shot off. Oh no, not the host. Oh, he just got fed to the Sarlacc pit. Rest in pepperonis. Oh my goodness. Dana Ashbrook, fantastic. The full werewolf effects. Fantastic makeup. Oh, great stuff. Like Hacksaw Jim Duggan, man. This ending is very Evil Dead. Yeah, no, it is. It really is. It's definitely a lot of fun, man. So you see here that this sword fight, this is elongated in the sequel. They have a sword fight through time. Like they go into the mall in Dawn of the Dead. They go into Godzilla era, and their lips don't match up. Fantastic stuff, man. The sword fight in the second one. It's not even the choreography of the sword fight, but it's the fun and the creativity and going through my favorite all-time movie of Dawn of the Dead when they're in the mall. I just think that's great. And who are these two people? I don't know, but they're bad mothers. I love that, man. The showdown, Galligan and Warner. Holy moly. And God. Uh-oh. I remember as a kid thinking that this was just such a magical finale, too. Oh, no. Gives him the sword back. That's confidence right there. Oh, my God. I love this. David Warner just like unamusingly watching on. Again got his sword from him. And again gives it back. Confidence can sometimes be your undoing. Oh, man. The whole movie would make a great haunted house for Halloween Horror Nights. Bro, imagine how cool that would be. I know this year they're doing Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Bride of Frankenstein, Haunting of Hill House. Like, those are the main ones they're doing. I would love to go to one of those years. I know they did Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That's amazing to me that they did that. I don't think they'd ever do Waxwork, but imagine, dude. I feel like that would be so cool. That'd be sick, man. If they ever do it, bro, hit them up for compensation because you came up with the idea. It would cost them nothing to do either, bro. It would be cheap. Oh, man, see, sometimes it's just like they don't know what shit would draw or not, you know. Not a lot of people know this movie, unfortunately. Kill the wimps. No. Zack Galligan must fight forever. Oh, axe to the back. Universal could use the real monsters. Yeah, it's true. You wouldn't have to do all the redesigns. That would be something. I don't know. I think it would be something easy to do. I know they do a clown fun house, like a 3D clown fun house. I know they do that. But I'm not sure. I think that would be a really excellent idea, man. I have you ever been? I've never been personally. I've never been to Universal Horror Nights, but the Bride of Frankenstein, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that sounds really cool. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that's awesome. I'd love to see Universal do one for Halloween 3. Imagine if they did Halloween 3 with the masks and the song. Like you walk in and you hear the song, and then maybe at the ending, like you go into this dark room and then they turn on the TVs and the flashing boom, 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 boom. And it's almost time, kids. That'd be so sick. Oh, Warner got shot. No. He's about to take a big old bump into the wax pit. All these cartoon sound effects. Has anybody else here been to Universal Horror Nights, though? I really would like to go. Big bump coming. Splash. That looks like strawberry Nesquik. I wonder if it was. If they use strawberries and watermelons for the steak tartare, why not use strawberry Nesquik here? Epic. That must have been so much fun to film. Apparently, too, I know this Kane Hodder on the Frankenstein monster extra. Kane Hodder is Frankenstein. Oh, no, they're decapitating him. Oh, the Wolfman just took his head off. Great fire here. And they used a really cool usage of a miniature to show the waxwork burning down here. Oh, my God, really good effects. This is like one of those movies where people say, oh, CGI is not that bad. I'm just like, watch Waxwork. Like, tell me how good CGI is after you watch Waxwork, bro. How creative this movie was, you know, Bob Keane and using these miniatures to show the burning building down. Yeah, that guy in the Frankenstein suit, that's fucking Kane Hodder. I always thought that was really cool. Same year as Friday the 13th, Part 7, I believe, 1988. So same year as he played Jason, he also played Frankenstein in this movie. Really cool stuff. They have now escaped the waxwork in a blaze of glory. Really good stuff. Once again, great use of color there. Just great use of the flash and color. And this miniature shot's really good. I was going to be easily fooled by good miniature shots. Like, knowing it now, I could tell. But, like, when I first saw it, I would have just been like, wow, they burned down that building for real? Like, especially when you're a kid, you don't know any better. Great stuff. Very grand, epic finale. As we were going to see the hand, and then, of course, Miss Leslie Gore, which I could turn it up for that. If I get copyrighted, fuck it. I don't care. It's all for that Leslie Gore song, man. I love that. It's like, I remember when I first watched this and when that ending song happens, I was like, what better song? Like, I just had a wonderful thrill ride, a great experience watching this movie. And then you play It's My Party, I'll Cry If I Want To. Like, fucking great, man. Anthony Hickox had just such a great sense of humor. I wish he had done more stuff. I really do. Like, this movie just had such a great energy and creativity to it. And it's just inspiring every time I watch it. It really is. The hand is crawling away and Waxwork 2 is planted. And then I'll turn it up. Subwoofer and everything, baby. You would cry too if it happened to you. Yes! Long live Waxwork, baby. Oh my God, what a great movie. What a great movie. Just love it. I watched the crappy Fright Night remake recently, and the CGI totally ruined that film. New Blood is hands down the better remake, and it's what the 2011 remake should have been. Now that's New Blood. So you're talking about the Fright Night remake sequel? Is that New Blood? Forgot how much fun that movie was. Yeah, no, it is. It's a fun ass movie. Like it's really, man. It's creativity. It's fun. It's the cast. I mean, when I think 1980s Waxwork, I mean, it's one of the first movies that comes to my mind because it defines the 1980s. I think there should be a feature-length documentary on why this movie is like fantastic. I would love to see a documentary made today about this. Like, I know they did Crystal Lake Memories for Friday the 13th. Do something like that for Waxwork. I would just love to see that. Or even give Anthony Hickox the budget to make a third one. He always wanted to do it. Why not? Great song, 10 out of 10. Yeah, no, I love Waxwork. Might be a 10 out of 10 for me. I fucking love this movie. Like, it's the total package. It really has everything. Support. You see, Werewolf Killer Assistant was James Hickox, of course, Anthony Hickox's brother. Really cool stuff. And some of the zombies. You also see, of course, you could see Kane Hodder's name in the credits as Frankenstein. Pretty cool, man. It's I don't know. This is one of those movies that executes the little things, and it takes them a whole lot way, and it makes something that's, you know, ordinary, like an idea like this, ordinary, to being something extraordinary, I think. New Blood is a remake sequel, but it's just another remake. Yeah, no, I've not seen that sequel, the sequel to the remake. I've actually not seen the Fright Night remake either. I've skipped on it. But I've heard a lot of bad, so I don't know. I would trust your opinion over anybody else's. So especially like when it comes to Fright Night, because I know you were Mark for the original. I would check out the second one if you recommend. So I will definitely give it a look somewhere down the road. It's a funny story. I saw it at a 7-Eleven, the sequel. Like it was with all the $3.99 movies. It was with like Otis, fucking Rest Stop, and then I saw Fright Night Part 2, the remake, and I was like, I don't know, man. I didn't even see Part 1 of the remake, but knowing that they don't connect and it's just another remake, that intrigues me, you know. But I'll tell you one thing, man. Get a Blu-ray of the actual Fright Night 2, and then we'll talk. That's another one I always watch in October time. The original Fright Night and Fright Night 2. I just love those movies. The writer of New Blood wrote Argento's Pelts. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Hey, man, I like Pelts. So that's definitely one I would definitely like to give a look. Dedicated to Hammer, Argento, Romero, Dante, Landis. Oh, hold on. We can rewind that. Spielberg, Wells, Carpenter, Mum, Dad, and more. That's so cool. He dedicated the movie to all the filmmakers and studio, like Hammer Horror, Argento, Romero, Dante, Landis, Spielberg, Wells, Carpenter, Mom, and Dad. And that's so cool. Like, you know, Anthony Hickox was a pretty humble guy. He seems really cool in the interviews. So, and he also did a fan commentary for this film and Part 2, the sequel. He did a feature commentary with Zack Galligan on both movies. So if you're interested in watching other commentaries aside from this one, totally check those out. They're really cool. I've watched the commentary for Waxwork 2 with those two, not for this film, but I would like to. I've seen the making of for this, and it's fantastic. Making of this is also on YouTube. It's like 24 minutes long, so super fun time. I enjoy this movie a lot. But yeah, I guess without further ado, we can. We're almost at the main screen here. Fright Night Part 2 is phenomenal. Tommy Lee Wallace is the freaking man. I like his sequel to Carpenter's Vampires quite a bit. Yeah, no, definitely. It's My Party fits this as well as dedicated to the one I love. Yes! Also, I love my favorite thing in House. My favorite song is when he's trying to dispose of the body of the thing he killed, and they play that Betty Everett song. You're no good, you're no good, you're no good, baby, you're no good. That is like every time I hear it, I just smile. Saw that in the theater, 35 millimeter. They did a all-night horror movie, pay to get out marathon. And House was one of the last movies they showed. I think they showed like Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, Hellraiser, Creepshow 2, Texas Chainsaw 3, and then I think it was House. House was, with a crowd, was so much fun. And it was so late in the evening when it came on. It came on at like 4 a.m. I still have the card somewhere. I believe at 4 o'clock in the morning it came on. And man, we just had a wonderful time in the theater. And just that's another movie that just has a great sense of humor to it. Thoughts on the Candyman sequels? A very unpopular opinion here, Nate. I don't like the second one at all. I don't like Farewell to Flesh. To me, it's the original Candyman with no heart to it or no charm. No, just it's a very flat film, Candyman 2. My favorite Candyman sequel is Part 3. And I know that the lead actress can't act. I know. Donna D'Errico, something like that. Can't act. But what a beautiful fucking woman. And also, I always loved that Rod from A Nightmare on Elm Street. He's also in the film. I can't think of his real name is different one than one he used for the fucking one in Elm Street. I can't think of his actual name, but he's an awesome actor. He played Rod in the original Nightmare on Elm Street. That's my favorite Candyman sequel, like easily. I don't think it's great, but I don't think it's like this big piece of shit like everybody else would say. I think those two sequels leave a little bit to be desired. And then the new Candyman, it's just like, like, I don't want to see it, man. I'm not into politics. I'm just not into it. Like, when I watch fucking Waxwork, I want to enjoy myself, have a good time. I don't need to be hearing about how awful these people are, how awful those people are. It's just, I don't know, man. It's not why I watch movies. Like, if I wanted to watch that, I'd watch the news. And I just don't. I don't watch the news. I've only seen the first Candyman. Honestly, man, you could stop. You don't have to see any of the other Candymans. It's really, the first one is the best, like by a mile. And I don't think it can be topped. Sorry I came in late. Dude, nothing to be sorry about. I'm so happy that you came in at all, man. It's so cool. Anybody that watches even for a minute is very flattering to me. I appreciate it. Farewell to the Flesh had a great score, but that's about it. Yeah, no, Farewell to the Flesh, it's like, in the first one, it was always you, Helen. And then in the sequel, it's like, oh, well, it was always you, bitch. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it was always Helen. Like, that's one of those movies that it almost retcons some shit. And I don't like what it retconned. I'm just like, no, like, I like the first Candyman. Don't forget about the first Candyman. Like, I don't know. Farewell to the Flesh, I just don't enjoy. Like, it's just, it completely misses why the first one works. I wonder why they didn't make any more Candyman sequels. I think, honestly, Nate, for number one, Candyman isn't like a Friday the 13th or an Elm Street or a Halloween. It's not. Like, you compare the original Candyman to any of the Friday the 13th movies, any of the Elm Street movies. It's not the same type of film. Whereas Friday the 13th is a slasher series. Every one of those movies is a slasher film. Elm Street has slashing elements in the original, and then it becomes a slasher series after that, probably with part 3 on. But Candyman, it's not really a slasher film. It's more of a dark psychological horror film, and it has some slashing in it, and it has a memorable slasher. That's what I think why people remember it as a slasher movie or a slasher series. But I don't think it is. I think the first movie works for a completely different reason. It's so much more than a slasher movie. To me, the number one thing that scares me about the original Candyman is the atmosphere, is that creepy atmosphere and environment. That's why I remember the original Candyman as well as I do, and I like it as much as I do. That's just my personal opinion. So that's why I don't think they made more, because I think the idea from the studio was, let's cash in like we did with Friday the 13th, like we did with Freddy. It wasn't like that. It just wasn't that kind of series to do. And you know, people told me this till when the cows come home. They say the same thing about this movie, that Hellraiser 3 was a huge misstep because it didn't work for Hellraiser. I disagree, and I will say why. This was their attempt to make it more like a Freddy film. It's definitely more like a Freddy film than any other Hellraiser movie. But for some reason, it worked for Hellraiser for me because we had already seen the first two, and we had already experienced the hell world, you know, the Hellbound of Hellraiser 2. You know, we experienced that. But now it's hell on earth. It's what would happen if this was really released onto everyone on earth. I thought that was a cool direction to take it. I thought it was necessary to raise the proverbial body count and make it more like a slasher film. But there are some people that just fucking hate the direction that this took with the series. They feel that's not Hellraiser. I don't feel like that with Hellraiser. I think this is the last great Hellraiser sequel. With Candyman, I feel like that is totally the case. We didn't see enough Candyman to just instantly make it a 90s slasher franchise. That's what they tried to do, and it miserably failed. Because Farewell to the Flesh didn't make a lot of money. Day of the Dead went straight to DVD, and that was it, you know. And then it goes to show you that the name could have still made money, but once again, you ask yourself, the demographic that went into that movie wanted to see a gory slasher film. They did not get that from everyone I've heard. So I don't know. Maybe that's why. Maybe it's hard to make a sequel to that movie because it's just so damn perfect. Tony Todd hates Candyman 3. I can hear that. I totally can understand. But honestly, if somebody said, Grande, of the 3 Candyman sequels that there are, which one would you pick? I would pick Candyman fucking 3. That would be the one I would watch. Haven't seen Hellraiser 3 either. We'll have to add it to the list. You know, I don't know. I think it's a good one, man. The bar in Hellraiser 3 was like a low-budget Gasworks from Wayne's World. I sort of love Hellraiser 3. I think it's the last, and funny enough, last October, me and the Horror Boy, we did a commentary for Hellraiser 3. And we had a fun time. That's his favorite Hellraiser movie. Whereas I like the first two Hellraisers the best. 3, to me, is definitely the best sequel after those two. Like, to me, it's easily, after the second one, the best sequel. But again, I know there are some people that are like, man, this is fucking silly. But again, this is from the guy that brought you Waxwork. So, I could expect a little bit of fun to be had here. And the disc Cenobite that's throwing the time for your close-up, Terry, fucking goofy. But I don't know. For some reason, I enjoyed it. Come on, Grande, you don't like Hellraiser 4? Hellraiser 4. What the fuck? Hellraiser 4 is 80 minutes long, and it feels like it is like 80 centuries long. It is like, I fucking hate Hellraiser 4. Don't get me started. I will literally, my head will explode. I love Hellraiser 3. Dude, same here, man. Hellraiser 3 is great. What's a horror film that deserved a franchise? Wow. The Burning instantly jumps to mind. You could have done sequels to that. Madman didn't make enough money, though. They would have never done a franchise for that. Burning was a hit, and they just didn't do anything. They were just like, all right, we ripped off Friday the 13th. Let's move on. Like, no, like, why not try? There's a lot of movies that should have tried to do a sequel that didn't end up even attempting it. Waxwork thankfully got to attempt their sequel. It just, people don't like it because it's the first film. If you cut the budget by, down to a quarter, they had like $750K instead of the $3 million. And that's really why I think it crashes and burns in a lot of people's minds. Man, I'm looking at the DVD rack of hell here. Which horror movie deserved a franchise? I think the Three Extremes movie would have been cool to see a franchise, like an anthology franchise. That would have been something cool, and give different filmmakers from 3 different countries a shot every year to make their own short horror film. That would have been something. Hell, I think this wouldn't be horror, but the Grindhouse double feature, Tarantino Rodriguez. How cool would it have been if every year they picked 2 filmmakers to make a double feature like that and release it? And one of them could be horror themed. One of them could be more exploitation themed. One of them could be more drama themed. Like, I think that would have been something interesting to try, like to test those waters. But the first one was a flop, and even with Tarantino and Rodriguez attached, it flopped. So I don't know. I would have loved the sequel to Bloody Birthday. Yo, hell yeah. Wow. That's an obscure one. I like that. I don't know. Maybe. Nah, just kidding. Everybody hates the ending, but I love it. I honestly love it. I'm looking at the DVD rack here. I don't know if there's one I'm missing here that really deserved a franchise. Because if it deserved a franchise, it has to be standalone. It can't have a sequel or a prequel, I guess. I don't know. Well, I don't know what the rest of you guys would think. I would love to have seen Splinter turn into a franchise. That creature was awesome. That movie, I remember that really got people into horror again when it came out. That was a really low-key movie. And it is similar vein to like, movies like Alien or John Carpenter's The Thing. Like, it has that same vibe, I think, to those movies. Like, it's these people in a gas station and this creature comes after them. I'm not a big fan of the CG, but the rest of the movie is so well done. Like, the atmosphere, the look of the movie, it's very gritty. That really, yeah. I mean, that would have been fine to do a franchise for. I'll tell you one thing: I would have never done a sequel to Joyride. There's probably ones I could tell you that don't deserve a franchise that have, like Joyride definitely never needed a sequel. Jeepers Creepers, I felt like needed the sequel. They definitely didn't need part 3. VHS, that's one I'm actually happy they did a sequel to. I like the second VHS. Nightbreed would have been cool to see more Nightbreed movies. That would have been something. I'm still looking on the rack here. Let's see. Child's Play, that has plenty of fucking sequels. Blood-Sucking Freaks. That doesn't deserve a franchise. That's just, I love that movie for what it is. How about, here's one, Maniac. would have been so cool because they were in production to make Maniac 2. And it was going to be in similar fashion to the Joker movie, where he was going to be playing this clown, this like mentally disturbed clown, and he was going to be killing people off one by one. That would have been really cool to see Joe Spinell come back as a Maniac character. Maybe not again the, Frank Zito character, but still just seeing Joe Spinell play a Maniac again. That would have been something. There never should have been a sequel to American Psycho. That's another one. Never should have been a sequel. Never, ever, ever. Hell yeah, Grindhouse double feature franchise would be awesome. Why not? Like, and not every year Tarantino, Rodriguez do new up and coming filmmakers. This way they can sell their stuff, use their creative juices, and become stars in their own right. Today it's just like, how do filmmakers expect to grow? Like everybody, I always hear, oh, wouldn't you like to see Mike Flanagan do a Nightmare on Elm Street? I won't lie. Will he do a good job with it? Sure. Did he do a good job with that Dr. Sleep movie? Everybody that I know that saw it liked it. That's my thing, though. Why are you getting him to do sequels and remakes? Let him give us his own vision and stuff. Like Hush was a fantastic movie. We really all enjoyed Hush. Really good stuff. Oculus, I know it gets a lot of heat and criticism. That's a fun movie too. I don't know. There's something about filmmakers today. They don't let them grow. They don't let them spread their wings. They kind of diminish them. Oh, we'll give you a reboot. We'll give you a sequel. Let them grow, man. That's my thing. Splinter is dope. Yeah, totally. Thankfully, they use CGI sparingly in that film because the practical effects in Splinter are amazing considering the budget. Yeah, no, that's a great throwback movie. I like Splinter a lot. Nightbreed was a setup for a sequel, but never delivered. Instead, they gave us 30 Hellraiser sequels and Candyman, but Nightbreed was one that truly did set up for a sequel and didn't get one. Yeah, no, it's a shame, man, because I really enjoy Nightbreed. I think that's a great movie, too. I would have liked to have seen a part 2, but in the end of the day, I'm glad that we have the cut of Nightbreed now, the ultimate director's cut of it, because that's another movie that the studio just dabbled into until it was nothing. Well, I'm gonna head out, but it was cool for hanging out with everyone. Have a great night. Peace. Awesome show, John. Thank you so much, Nate. I appreciate you stopping by the graveyard tonight, man. Really do. Stay frosty, Nate. Totally. Event Horizon and Pandorum deserve sequels. Event Horizon I love. Pandorum, I fucking don't remember at all. I remember that was Dennis Quaid on the boat. No, it wasn't Dennis Quaid on a boat. It was Dennis Quaid on like a spaceship or something. I saw it once. I fucking don't remember it at all. I don't remember it. I would have to rewatch it. Nightbreed's amazing. Totally love Nightbreed. Prince of Darkness could do with a part 2. Yeah, that would have been something. I love the Prince. I have the 4K of Prince of Darkness. It looks fucking incredible. I really like that movie. That to me was John Carpenter really stepping out of his comfort zone and making something more along the lines of an Italian filmmaker. Like it's very Argento feeling in a lot of it. I love Prince of Darkness. I think that would have been a really interesting choice to see, Carpenter step out and do something like that again. Or even, maybe even hand the reins over to a guy like Dean Cundey. And let's say give Dean Cundey a chance to do the Prince of Darkness sequel because he had such a good visual aesthetic to him, a visual look. Like to me, the classic John Carpenter scope is not there without a guy like Dean Cundey. I think Dean Cundey was the big secret to John Carpenter's success. And I think he should have got a chance to direct some films. So I would have liked to see Prince of Darkness Part 2 directed by the legendary Dean Cundey. That would have been something. That would have definitely been something cool. There's definitely a lot. I don't know. Like people, I've heard people say The Thing, which I know that we've got The Thing prequel, which I still have not seen because I was just like, nope, I'm not watching that, man. Again, it's just another where I'm just like, I'm good. Like, thank you, but no, thank you. I like Mary Elizabeth Winstead, but that's about it. Ghost of Mars, LOL. Oh shit, yeah, no, that doesn't need a sequel. It's funny talking about Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Cloverfield. That's one that probably still hasn't gotten the direct sequel, but I like 10 Cloverfield Lane better than the first Cloverfield. I love 10 Cloverfield Lane. To me, that's the best of the three. And I don't even mind The Paradox. Like a lot of people hate that movie too, but I don't think it's that bad of a movie either. That's a weird franchise considering like they're only connected via Easter eggs. Like there's not a lot there story-wise, and there's not really that classic return of them. It's not really a monster movie like the first one again, even though the monster does make an appearance in the last one. But I don't know. That's another franchise that it's just like, it's so weird that this is a franchise, but I don't know. I don't mind. But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, we've been at this 2 hours. I guess we will call it a night. Unless anybody has any final topics they want to bring up. If not, no worries. I just wanted to say cheers to everybody for a nice weekend. I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Of course, thank you all for watching Waxwork with me. Had a great time watching this. Really fun to do a fan commentary for this. One of my faves, and it was a blast watching it with you all tonight. Next week, we are going to be diving into J-horror. Yes, as we do a Ju-on The Grudge series review. I'm not going to review all of them. I'm probably going to do the first 4. And then maybe we'll dabble a little bit into the American remakes. But I don't know. I'm not going to guarantee that. Definitely the first 4, though. But you're doing Ju-on The Grudge next week. Really excited for that. So everybody, thank you so much for joining. Had a great time. I prefer 10 Cloverfield Lane as well. Me too. Totally great sequel. Great Steam, man. Stay frosty. Oh, totally, man. And I will, I'm definitely going to hit you up about Ethel Cross's information. I definitely would like to do the segment, man. I saw your email right before I went live. Cheers, brother Tom. Cheers to you, man. Cheers to everybody. Have a wonderful, safe weekend. Aiden says, I love the original Ju-on. Scared the shit out of me. Dude, we're going to be talking all about it next week. So if you want to pregame, man, because I'll be pregaming as well. So thank you all. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, drive safe, enjoy yourselves. And we will catch you next time only on The Graveyard. Too sweet, peace. Long live Waxwork.